Hello, Eric. Hello, breadheads. Welcome to another episode of Think Fresh, a podcast dedicated to Subway and Token Up. What are you doing, Eric? Are you getting lit over there?
Well, I'm always
Lighter
lit,
in
bro.
hand.
Come on now. Dude, I'm always
What?
lit, man. I got my new podcast set up in my studio here, Ty. Man, I'm just while you're over there wasting our listeners' time, I'm investing my hard-earned anchor dollars in this beautiful new Eames chair that I picked up for my bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this new little side table here, and can I say, Ty, my setup is glowing up.
Yeah, I really like the grain of that oak wood. It looks really polished, and
Thank you.
I think it is appropriate to invest a reasonable amount of your income into R&D for the podcast. Uh, I know that Subway itself, the big way, typically only leaves a fraction of their GDP for R&D, as evidenced by the lack of innovation on the menu.
hmm You're right, Ty. All they're doing is, trying to take it out on the customer, the hardworking customer, Ty. They're begging for tips. They're not giving us plastic bags. Um, they're making the menu more and more predetermined rather than optimizing for creativity. They're doing all these
Mm-hmm.
things to just like fuck the customer, and I'm not here for
I completely agree. It, it's definitely like they are, if you think about like the political philosophy of determinism, which is like
Oh,
loosely
yes.
related, I guess, uh, the creation of a god or the following of a religion. Subway's like slowly regressed to that state when at one point you would say that Subway was an advocate for free will, my sandwich, my choice, but no more it seems.
Mm-mm. Uh, Subway is inhumane in that regard, Um, they don't really care about the patron, and they've made it pretty fucking obvious if you ask me. Um, I mean, when we went, I don't remember actually a good time I've had at Subway in the recent memory. Like last time we went, the guy was asking me if I spoke English. He's
Hmm.
asking if I knew the names of vegetables, which I really didn't.
Hmm. He literally asked
He
you that.
Yeah, he asked me that, and I feel like I was
How
being profiled.
patronizing. Yeah, it was
It literally,
patronizing.
yeah, I was being profiled for being Eastern European once again,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
I don't think the sandwich was very good. The time before that, I got the wrong ranch sauce. Like they just added a random sauce to my sandwich without asking me.
Damn, dude.
They just surprised. They raped my sandwich pie. They surprised me with a random white sauce that I did not ask for.
It must be because of your Eastern European background. Everywhere you go, you're margarine-alized.
God damn it,
Margarine-alized. There's a pun in there
Jesus.
somewhere.
And then the time before that, we got a really, really spicy sub that we just could barely stomach. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, it's just like overall, instead of Subway creating an experience, they're creating gas.
Subway's a gas station.
Like Subway is a gas station. Pull up, fill up, and go.
Dude, yeah. And then you're tooting all
Toot
around
toot
your Chinatown.
toot toot.
Choo choo. That explains why it's called a subway, Eric. And they really should be sandwich conductors because they're choo choo toot
Mhm.
tooting all around.
Yeah, that's right. It's a gasoline powered locomotive over here.
Hell yeah, dude. And that meatball marinara, that shit's diesel.
hmm Holy shit.
Uh,
High protein,
speaking
baby.
speaking of gas stations, Eric, we really need to address this shooting, this subway shooting, pew pew, that happened recently at a subway at a gas station in Atlanta, Georgia.
It
Do
was
you
in a
want to
gas
give the
station.
breadheads the facts? Yeah. Let's break down the facts,
Holy,
and then we'll talk a little bit more about its relationship to gasoline.
perfect. Thank you, Ty. I don't really actually have any facts about this. All I really know, and know is in quotes, but all I really know here is that somebody was ordering a Subway sandwich at Subway,
Hmm.
and I'm assuming they asked for some mayonnaise, but turns out they took it out on the sandwich artist when they added too much mayo to their sandwich, and I guess they pulled out the stick, and they let it rip.
Hmm. Yeah, then it was a Glock straight to the face.
Hmm.
That's exactly it, Eric. I think that the disgruntled patron not only point blank the sandwich artist responsible for the mayo overload, but they also shot the, uh, I guess, second in line, the secondary artist. What would you call that? The
Mm.
associate creative director, next to
Yeah,
them.
something like that.
Yep, and they received quite major injuries, and the real tragedy as well was that one of the artists had their child there at the same time, who witnessed the entire thing. It must have bring your child to work day. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I
Terribly
remember
sad
that.
though. Anyways,
Uh,
the first artist, the Mayo artist, they died. The other artist, injuries in the hospital. I don't know if they caught the sandwich artist, or I don't know if they caught the perp in this case. The perp,
mhm.
I don't even know if the perp left with their sandwich or not, or if they abandoned the sandwich.
These are important details that were missed. Um, I'm just remembering now that somebody sent us this story in our DMs,
Hmm.
and I'm looking at it right now. So thank you to you, my good sir. Um, but it looks like the two employees, Ty, they had only been working there for 3 or 4 weeks.
Ooh. So they
Ooh.
do they have the "Forgive me, I'm new" badge on? Because that could have saved a life, you know.
Holy shit. Do you ever like when you go to Whole Foods or something, Ty, and you like choosing your till? So you got a big cart of groceries filled with like
Hmm.
almond milks and whatever tempeh and other shit you eat. Um,
Yeah.
when you pull up to like the shortest line and then you start unloading and you realize that, Greg over here is like a 1 week and counting badge on his shirt. Like, what do you, WID, are you staying or? Are you leaving? Are you gonna pull out the heater or what's going on?
Hell yeah, Eric. As you know, I moonlight as a life coach, and I will never squander an opportunity like that to bless a new employee with some of the tips and tricks for navigating the register.
Hmm.
I did actually eat tempeh this morning. I
Thank you.
crumbled
I
it
was
up
waiting for
and
that.
seasoned it like sausage. Ooh,
Oh wow.
raunchy, I
I bet you
know.
make a mean tempeh pasta.
I've been known to dabble in a tempeh bolognese, and it is
Dude,
quite good.
I think whenever you create that, some like an Italian grandmother die.
Dude, they're dying
Somewhere
either
in
way, man.
somewhere in Sicily, they are known to live to be over 100 years old, but
Hmm.
the the thing that ends their long life is Thai's vegan pasta.
Oh, definitely. Like plant-based pasta is a voodoo doll to a Nona.
Yeah. It's a no-no for a nona.
A no, yes.
Um,
Anyways, Eric,
well,
this
get this,
this
Ty.
entire sandwichuation is just it just makes me say like Italian herbs and cheese Louise. Like I can't believe this keeps happening in America.
Jeez Louise. I know America is absolutely crooked, but um, speaking of which, apparently something else happened at a Jack in the Box. It was
Oh
like the
no.
similar situation, a similar sandwichuation here. This person asked for more buttermilk. And when he was told that the additional sauce came with a surcharge, an argument ensued, Ty.
Oh no.
The customer then pulled up to the front of the restaurant where he got in a separate argument with an off-duty employee. Off-duty employee is really funny, first of all.
Damn.
He hung up the visor for his lunch break. That's awesome. Um, oh, he was waiting for his ride home, actually. My mistake. Um,
As one
and
does.
then he followed, so this customer followed the employee to his vehicle and then shot him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can
So,
you that's a terrible way to end your shift. He ended the big shift.
yeah, um, quite literally a graveyard shift.
Wow. That's dark. And so like do you blame Jack in the Box for this? Because they if they just offered unlimited vegetables and sauces, that this could have been avoided.
Yes. Oh, I mean,
But
it's crazy to me that, people are charging like, I don't know, $20 probably for a meal, and they're gonna ask you for another like 50 cents for like a little dipping sauce. Like, can you believe that? Like, Subway would never do something like that. If
no.
anything, Subway suffered an opposite fate. They gave you too much.
I can't imagine paying like 50 cents for a little tub of sauce on the side at Subway.
Crazy, right?
It's never even crossed my mind until right now.
No way, dude. Um, Even the avocado, it's like kind of insulting that they would ask for more money at that point.
Mhm. Yeah, like supply and demand has dropped the price of avocado so much in recent years. I remember there was a time I'd roll up to Whole Foods and an avocado would be like $3 a pop. But now sometimes you can get them in the rotting section of the produce aisle for like 5 for a dollar. That's pretty good. That's like a $5 avocado footlong.
Hmm. That's a good point. Back in my days, working at the grocery store, I learned that you have to take the vegetables from the back. The back row has all the freshest
Mhm.
stuff, like whether it's salad, avocados, tomatoes. They always pull the old shit to the front so that people who don't give a hoot just grab it from the top and call it a
Right.
day. Or if you use like a grocery delivery app, like those guys aren't, you know, picking the ripest or the nicest mango for you. They're just reaching from the top row. So always, do a little behind the back reach around.
They'll reach around. Oh, you
Yeah,
know I do,
exactly.
Eric. When I roll up to Big Grocery, and I head in there, I revisit my gatherer instincts, and I am willing to explore the back of any section in produce. Hell, I'll even do it in the canned goods section. Do you think you could request this at Subway? Could you ask them to just like stick their hand a little, like go like fist deep, wrist deep in the bucket, and just get like
Mm,
the nice cukes from the bottom of the bucket?
mm. I don't know, Ty. I don't know if this theory applies to Subway. Like, I'm not sure if they are like emptying out the bucket and then like putting the new stuff in and then like drizzling on like the old stuff. Like, or are they just like dumping it in? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if I worked at Subway and I was being paid $13 an hour, I would not care that much about freshness, even though
That's
it's in
true.
the
You just
company's
run the
logo.
tank empty. Yeah, run the tank
Hmm.
empty, then get a fresh bucket.
Yeah, or just dump it in the garbage and just the new bag in.
That's true. Yeah, there's no concern there. So perhaps that isn't really appropriate. When you see a bucket at like quarter capacity or lower, do you still dabble in that vegetable, or is that a red flag to skip it for that meal?
I almost never check the freshness of any vegetable type when I shop at Subway.
Shopping at Subway.
When
Uh,
I convert at Subway, I am simply asking for what I want and I am having it my way. I'm never once considering the possibility that a vegetable is not good because it's always not good.
It's true. It is incredible that, like, with 44,000 locations and vegetables that are sitting out literally all day, they've completely eradicated It's like the fear of food poisoning from their establishment. I don't walk in there and say, "That's gonna make me sick," even though it looks clearly sickly.
Sickly is a good way to put it. Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever gotten sick from Subway, if I'm being honest. Maybe a little tummy ache.
Mhm,
Um, a nice little, um, you know, spicy poo,
mhm. A little spicy
but
poo, yeah.
nothing too bad, nothing where I'm like shivering. Those That's
No,
usually a good sign that things are going wrong.
yeah, you don't want any cold cut sweats.
Exactly.
Okay,
Man.
I got another question for you, Eric. I want to ask you about this whole mayo situation. If
Hmm.
if a sandwich artist did you wrong and they you asked for some ranch or dare I even a sweet onion and they or maybe no sauce at all and they whip out the mayo bottle and squirt that shit on your sandwich. You wouldn't pull out the foot long barrel rifle and right in the face, would you? No,
Well,
that seems
Ty,
unprecedented.
this literally happened to me 2 meals ago, 2 Subway meals ago, like at YVR of all places.
Hmm. Yeah, and you
Um,
acted a lot more like cool headed, cool ranch headed.
Cool Ranch headed. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was pretty cool about it. I realized that if I were to pull out a gun at an airport, it would end very badly for me.
Yeah,
There's no way that
cheeky.
that would end well for me. So no, I don't know. Yeah, I have bigger things to worry about. Clearly something happened to this young man who shot at a Subway employee. Clearly there's something going off in their personal lives that mealtime.
Yeah, you gotta leave that shit at the subway door. Like, leave your personal life
Exactly.
behind when you walk in there. Walk in, you're a new man, a
Hmm.
fresh man, if you will.
Exactly. You can't bring your demons to Subway. That's just a recipe for disaster.
We go to Subway to make new demons.
We go there to heal and to address our demons, Ty. We don't need to there's no need to bring, more shit, more shit to the way.
Father, I have sinned.
Hmm.
But this is a challenge with, and I want to bring this back to gas station subways, Eric. I do not go to gas station subways. There's two strains of franchise: standalones, and then like
Hmm.
attached to a gas station. And then there's a third like cool edgy strain which is attached to like hardware stores. Uh, but the point here, those ones are fine. But if your
Hmm.
subway's attached to a place that sells petrol, then I think that's where you're gonna get the lowest grade of footlong on the market.
It's surprisingly common too. Like it's usually like truck stops that will have a nice
Hmm.
little Subway. Um, And I think I've like figured out why this is the case because like I've recently learned that like semi trucks, like the nice ones at least, have like a full like apartment inside of the truck. Like, did you know that?
Wow. I
Did,
like a one bedroom or like
yeah,
a studio.
like a literally a studio. Like 2 chairs to drive the vehicle, but then behind that there is a bed, even like a microwave to like warm up your old sandwich.
Hmm.
Like I'm assuming some storage, for your clothing and things like that. Bathrooms are a question mark. I'm not totally sure about this, but by the way,
Mother
all this
Nature is
information
a semi driver's bathroom.
exactly. All this like information is coming from one Facebook reel that I saw. um, but yeah, it's pretty nice because I think you're able to like lay down after you have a nice little foot long. Like you go park your car, fill up, grab a sandwich, and then like you can eat it, and then like just have your food coma like immediately after, and then yeah, keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking, quite literally. Yes, mm, so your explore page is just like bikini clad thoughts and 18 wheeler tours.
It's a 18 wheeler whiteys and gym baddies.
Love that.
Yeah, I don't know how that
Yeah, so
happened. I watched one bench press reel and Now it's over for me. Now it's about now I know how to position my shorts so that my ass looks good.
Great. That's what it's all
Mm.
about. I feel the same way. My entire reel is just like people like turning cauliflower into bespoke food objects.
Amazing. I expect nothing less from you. You're such a good guy.
It's
That's so
yeah, it's
wholesome,
so
Ty.
PG.
You're not an ass shot in sight. Wow, they must be proud.
But baby, we're using the whole cauliflower sometimes, and that's a lot of head.
That's a lot of head. Jesus
uh
Christ.
damn. Uh Eric, I gotta tell you, speaking of uh cars at fast food establishments, I
Mm.
got I was wronged by fast food this weekend. I was perhaps
Mm-hmm.
profiled, I don't know. And I need to share my story with you. It's important to share,
Please tell me.
important to speak up. Yeah, so I drove through fast food chain A&W on Friday night through the drive-through. I was in small town BC, and I arrived about 10 minutes before close. So that's on me. You should know better because you'll end up with like if you go to any fast food chain and try to order a burger 10 minutes or 15 minutes before close, you should anticipate a loogie or perhaps a loose pube in the sandwich.
Oh
But
no.
nothing prepared me for what happened to my Beyond Meat burger that I ordered.
Mm-hmm.
And you know when it's a 10 p.m. dinner, you're gonna spec that shit with extra cheese. So I put a few extra bucks on the patty to really like add a little bit of gusto. Real
Mm-hmm.
treat yourself
Just to feel
moment,
something.
just to feel something, yeah. And I don't know if it's because it was a long weekend, or perhaps the disgruntled employees had a vendetta for vegetarians, or maybe they just made an honest mistake. But I bit into that patty, and sure enough, it was cow. It was pr-
Oh no.
proper cow in that patty.
And
Yes,
how'd you
sir.
how'd you tell? It was just it tasted that much better?
Honestly, no. I actually think, and you can scream blasphemy all you want, but I think the Beyond Meat patty has eclipsed regular meat in terms of flavor and texture at this point. Their
Hmm.
their iterative sprint model of developing food-like software has allowed them to grow at a record pace.
Food software is awesome, but I don't think you should use like fast food A&W meat as a benchmark.
Yeah,
Like,
probably not.
because like whatever meat they put in it is probably like not meat anyways. Like you could probably just order normally at A&W and still be vegetarian pie.
That's a good point because it's probably all soy pumped cattle anyways. But
Exactly.
the lack of flavor, Eric, was the first tell that I had entered a moral and ethical gray area, because there was no flavor, and I could see the patty in my like, not my like hand gripping the wheel of my Toyota Matrix, but the hand that was like in the dark trying to like fumble the sandwich. Uh, I
Wow.
could see the patty loosely. Yeah, man, I'm a manual driver, and we learned how to multitask with our hands.
Mm-hmm. This guy's driving under the Inchfluence.
That's a fact. Uh, yeah, so the lack of flavor was the tell because there was clearly a patty between the scraggly lettuce and sesame bun.
Wow. So, how do you? I have a lot of questions right now. How do you how do you feel about being so rich that you can one get the Beyond Meat and upgrade the cheese? That's like a six
Dude,
dollar like burger right there.
yeah, we're pushing double digits almost. And I feel
Holy.
great about that. I think that like it's truly a fast food meal for people that don't want to eat fast food. And I like being in that gray area.
Mm. Like fast casual, but still from like A&W. It's like
Mhm.
this warrants like a tip almost.
Mhm. Exactly. And
Mm.
that's kind of where I like honestly think Subway is in this same category because you aren't really there because you're in a rush, and you get to choose how much you spend. You can spend a lot if you want. but you get to really truly like have influence. It's like hiring an architect to design your dream home, but instead of a dream home, it's lunch, and that's a modern luxury, baby.
Dream lunch.
Dream lunch,
This is my dream lunch. Wow.
dude.
I had
Nowhere
A&W.
else, nowhere else on the planet can you go to a fast food establishment and get exactly what you want, down to the number of pickles.
Wow. That's like a micromanager's dream.
Yeah, dude, strap on those khakis and like go have fun.
Do you ever just like dine with somebody who is like on the Uber Eats app, like specking their like sandwich, like, "Well, I want three pickles, no mustard, extra patty, no cheese." It's just like that's our last date. You know what I mean? Like I won't be calling you anymore.
Yeah, Uber Eats is like taking the like ability to spec. It's democratized it for all establishments, and it can be a little
hmm
bit dangerous because some of those restaurants aren't really set up for that type of customization.
hmm I was funny story. I was actually in Paris a few weeks ago, and I went to this smash burger spot. Um, and we were just like we had our food. We were just like chilling at the standing desk, eating our burger and fries. And some like girl came in who clearly had some relation going on with the other girl there, like they're friends or something, like they knew each other.
Hmm.
And she
Lovers,
was like,
perhaps.
perhaps lovers. I think she had picked up a shift there in the past, something like along those lines.
Mm.
But she proceeded to like kind of chat, do a little stop and chat. And then she was like, "Oh yeah, actually, can I also get a burger?" And then she like says like, "Oh yeah, let me get a veggie burger, um, no cheese, no sauce."
Hmm. So she just wants to. This off-duty employee just wants to hit it raw.
This off-duty employee wants to hit it dry, Betty White style.
Damn. We're not talking
Yeah,
about the white
and
sauce.
no, and so the person working turned around and said that to the chef, and the chef just said, "Why?"
Shaking my head.
Uh, yeah, he was. I wasn't sure if he was saying why even bother ordering food or like why the restrictions. Like it's like so many. It's just like one all-encompassing why. It's just like
Hmm.
why this whole thing?
Hmm.
Why? I thought that was
Why?
really profound.
It is like kudos to the chef for being quick-witted and calling, like that's a critical thinker right there, calling that out as
hmm
soon as they see it.
hmm Yeah,
Because
and
any
this restaurant's so small, Ty, that the person working like didn't have to take any steps towards the chef to tell them that. She took the order and then she just turned around and said that, and then the chef was like, "Why?" And then everyone could clearly hear it, which is pretty funny.
what a classic designer developer relationship.
Yeah. And then meanwhile, the project manager is like looking around like, "What? What did I do?"
Yeah, quite the trifecta there. This is
hmm
why, like, we need like if Subway had a middleman between the sandwich engineer, which is technically the sandwich artist, and the
hmm
patron, who's truly the sandwich artist. There's like
hmm
a little bit of a blurred lines of taxonomy there. But if we introduced a
hmm
third party, interjected them in between, I think it would create chaos because it's already difficult enough to communicate your spec to the artist, like right now.
Yeah, I know. There's a big glass wall between, and I'm trying to point to the white sauce, but then my finger gets crushed because I have no sense of depth perception.
You're getting mustard, baby.
I'm getting mustard. And is it
Damn,
this
no,
one?
yeah.
No. What is it this?
And that's why I think Fresh Podcast exists there, is to break down glass walls, break down glass ceilings, unite all
100%.
breadheads to create the perfect sandwich, a modern luxury.
hmm I actually did go to A&W not too long ago for breakfast. I keep hearing like good things about the breakfast, which is like
Mm.
kind of a red flag in terms of like my relationship with somebody. Like if they bring up A&W for breakfast, I'm like, okay, well, now I'm like looking at you a little differently. Um,
Yeah.
but I had to go try it for myself, Ty, and I gotta say, it was underwhelming. The muffin bread type was unavailable,
Oh
so I
no.
had to get the regular burger bun. And basically, I had like an egg situation in there, plus a sausage patty, and it was literally the same as a burger, but with an egg and like no sauce. So I'm not
Mm.
sure like why people think that's so good. The egg
Sounds
is
like you
just
hit it
like
Betty White style.
basically hit it a la Betty.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know why people like rave about it. Are they talking about the like fried egg like and hash brown situation? Oh, actually, I did add a hash brown into my sandwich. That kind of saved it. That was a mid sandwich move.
Dude, no cap, the hash browns at A&W are what brings me back for breakfast. They are like the canola oil to potato ratio is almost 50-50, and you're not going to get a hash brown that wet anywhere else.
Exactly. It's a wet brown.
Mm. Yeah, they're really a market leader in wet brownie.
Yeah, honestly, if it's, if we're scoping this to just the hash brown, then yes, best breakfast of all time, like better than any brunch restaurant. But it was the burger that I was looking to, do something for me, and it just wasn't.
Dude, continuing with our gas station theme of the episode, eating one of those hash browns is like the human equivalent of getting an oil change.
It's like filling up with diesel when your car is like BMW, like,
Yeah,
regular gas car.
shit, you're gonna be sputtering.
You're gonna be puttering all the way to the bathroom.
Dude, gotta take this into the shop. Holy shit.
Oh man. Well, Ty, speaking of
Damn.
taking this to the shop, what a great episode. I hope the Breadheads will forgive us for not recording on Friday. Big Ty was in Little Town, BC, and I couldn't get a hold of him. But we're back.
Don't blame me, Eric. Blame Canada's 2G wireless connections anywhere outside of a major city center.
Which is where you are now, but you're on Wi-Fi, luckily.
Yeah, luckily. The Wi-Fi.
Great. Um, Next episode, I'll probably have my AirPods Maxes on my head, so that'll be a fun
Wow.
thing to test out.
That will be fun. There's definitely a forking happening in the quality of audio between you and me, so I might have to play catch up here. I might have to reinvest into my own R&D.
Yeah, Ty, play some catch up and invest in some AirPods that are not the second gen ones. Come on, bro. Come on now.
Yeah, we've come past that now.
hmm
Oh well.
The gap grows once again.
So you are witnessing the wealth gap occurring live on our podcast.
Wow, yeah. At first it was like the sandwich gap, and then now it's the AirPod gap, but that's okay. We're still besties, Ty, and you can tie me up at tennis anytime if you really tried.
I think so, and we will be hitting the courts again this week. Eric and I are officially court heads, and we're not talking about our pending legalities.
Hashtag free slime and
Yeah,
Ty, I'm gonna take that shit to motherfucking trial. All right,
yeah, baby, free YSL.
Schlick.
Schlop. Alrighty, King. Have a great week, breadheads. Thanks for tuning in. Catch us on our next episode, and think fresh, everybody.
See you later, slime. Schlick, schlick.
Slip, slip.